Valen.
Valen enggak baca teks. Aku nih
Iya,
aku nih
iya.
Erik. Ini udah kah dibaca?
Udah itu aku. Kapan aku baca kah ada Bapak?
Udah kah? Mulai kah?
Ya, ya.
Okay. Hello, sir. Hello, friends. Now, I'm from group 4. Now we are going to presentation about interesting stories. Ini itulah perkenalkan diri sendirilah sesuai urutan. Dan
apa?
perkenalkan diri.
Hello everyone, my name is Rendra Kurniawan and
Hello, my name is Nayla Dwigusfita.
Kezia, Rezova, Kasih.
I am. Not only your
My
name.
name is ya.
My name gitu nah.
Oh ya, my name.
Bisa juga. Yuk Mbak Kezia, mana Mbak Kezia ya Allah. Udah skip, lanjut Wid.
Hello, my name is Windi Widiastuti.
Hello, my name is Febriana.
Septiawan ini siapa yang tulis?
Febriana kah Febriani?
Febriana.
Ini Febriani.
Yang lu pakai R tuh.
Bukan aku lah, bukan aku. Ini duanya dua.
Hello, my name is Septiawan Happy.
Ini Maul.
My name is Maulaya.
Maulaya Pak.
My name is Reynold.
Ya, Pak.
Next, there is Arya. Arya Maulana Farhan mau kebalik. Okay, the last one.
Saya.
Okay. Aduh, mama aku lagi marah. Okay. Okay, we are membahas about definition, project structure, and tips of narrative text, characteristic narrative text, language elements of narrative text, past tense, outflow of time, and about the story of narrative text is Cinderella. Yeah.
Definition. Narrative is an imaginary story that aims to entertain the reader. Of course, what is called an imaginary story is not necessarily true because it could be just an imagination or a fictitious story made by someone or a story made by a group of people that was not being provided true.
Generic structure. Orientation is about the introduction of the characters and setting of the story. Usually it's located at the beginning of the text, the first paragraph. Complication is development of the problems faced by the characters. Resolution is the solution of the problems in the story. Reorientation or coda optional states the conclusion more message of the story. Types of narrative text about fairy tales, histories, science fiction, romance, horror stories, adventure stories, fables, slice of life, historical narratives, etc.
Siapa nih?
Pulau.
Yeah.
Karakteristik. Bentar. Karakteristik narrative text. 1. Using past tense. Verb 2. Dibaca nomornya kan ada, Cok?
Iya, baca.
Number 2. Using adverb of time like one day. Once upon a time. Number 3. Use of specific characters. Sangkuriang, Cinderella, and Maling Tuna. 4. Direct speech for conversations and stories. 5. Using conjunctions to create a chronology of events.
Kezia.
Nyari guys.
Ya. Wait. Language elements of narrative text. Noun is used for one of the pronouns for people, animals, or things in the story. Example are stepmother, gimana bacanya, Cong? Hah? Kamu tuh matiin nih.
Baca apa?
Wait.
Yang itu tuh
Dwarf itu kurcaci kalau nggak salah.
dwarf, iya kan?
Wait.
Dwarfs.
Tuh, dwarfs.
The dwarfs.
The dwarfs.
Gimana?
Gak tahu kok.
Ya udahlah, pokoknya itulah.
The dwarfs.
The dwarfs. Apa
The
sih?
dwarfs. The dwarfs. The dwarfs.
Ya. The dwarfs and others. Past tense or past verbs. In the narrative text, use the past verbs. Verb 2 example are knew, got, gave, when, and others. Time connective is one of the conjunction of the time sequence and event. Example are after that, before, and others. Action verbs is a verb that show various events or activity. Mancang terus activities. Example are state, climb, word, and others. Saying and thinking verb is a verb that show a report or apa itu bacanya gimana? Ya itulah pokoknya. Example
Yang mana?
Yang utaran. Itu.
Yang mana?
Yang itu tuh yang is a verb that show a report or
Yang di bawah.
Dengarin.
Utterance.
utterance.
Okay.
Utterance. Example are say, told, thought, and so on.
Happy.
Ini Septiawan atau Valen?
Siapa?
Yang ini past tense. Ya, Valen.
The past tense in English is used to talk about past, to talk about apa nih bacanya? Hipotesis kah?
Hipotesis.
Hypothesis, or when we imagine something for politeness.
Politeness.
Oh, simple sentence. The formula
subject plus verb to plus object.
Verb to plus object. Subject plus this plus not plus verb one plus object. This plus subject plus verb one plus object.
You must say, kan, ini positif. The formula for positive is subject plus verb to plus object. The formula for negative is subject plus did is not.
Ulang. Berarti the
interrogatif lah.
Ya. The formula positive is subject plus verb to plus object.
Ya.
Is subject plus did plus not plus verb one plus object. Interrogative did plus subject plus verb one plus object. Example positive is I went to the mountain yesterday. Atau saya pergi ke gunung kemarin. Negative is I did not go to the mountain yesterday. Saya tidak pergi ke gunung kemarin. Interrogative is did I go to mountain yesterday? Apakah saya pergi ke gunung kemarin? Nominal sentence. The formula positive is subject plus post or word plus adjective or noun or adverb. Negative is subject plus verb or word plus not plus adjective or noun or adverb. Interrogative is was or word plus subject plus adjective or noun or adverb. Example positive, my father was a king. Ayah saya dulunya adalah seorang raja. Negative is my father was not a king. Atau ayah saya dulunya bukan seorang raja. Interrogative is was my father a king? Apakah dulu ayah saya seorang raja?
Ayo Martin.
Aku dulunya seorang prajurit. I was a soldier. Aku dulunya bukan seorang prajurit. I was not a soldier. Apakah aku dulunya seorang prajurit? I was not a soldier. They were hungry. They were not hungry. Were they hungry? Kita tadi di sana. We were there. Kita tadi tidak di sana. We were not there. Apakah tadi kita di sana? Were we there?
Okay. Windi.
Adverbs of time in simple past tense. Here are adverbs of time usually used in narrative text. First, to begin. Ini kayak mana bacanya? To begin a story. Once
To begin.
Yeah. To begin a story. Once upon a time, a long time ago, many years ago, once in a while, long ago. Second, to show action in the middle of a story. Then, next, afterwards, suddenly, as a result, before, later on, at that moment, the reactor, in the meantime, up until then, later that day. Third, to show the end of the story, in the end or at the end, at last or last, since then, finally.
Since then. Oke.
Nay, balik dulu, Nay, bentar.
Kenapa?
Karena
Oh,
kan ku baca lagi.
aneh. Aneh.
Kalian PPT-nya di grup.
Halo. Ini si Happy dari at the ball sampai sleeper kah?
Serah sih.
Terus a few days siapa?
Iya. Mau lanjutin kayaknya.
Disuruh yang mana?
Hah?
Serah jajar.
Udah, aku yang awal. Oke.
Aku yang at the ball lah.
Ya,
Sampai habis.
sampai habis.
Happy. Sampai habis lah.
Iya.
Oke. Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a girl named Cinderella. She lived with her stepmother and stepsister. The stepmother and her two daughters didn't like Cinderella. They treated Cinderella very bad. Cinderella usually did the hardest work in the house, such as scrubbing the floor, cleaning the pot and the pan, and preparing the food for the family, and so on.
One day, a ball was to be held by the royal family of the kingdom to find the prince spouse. Apa nih bacanya?
Kayaknya banyak typo deh ini.
Lanjut jalan. Cinderella wanted to go to the ball, but her stepmother asked her to stay at home and do the housework. Cinderella cried. Then there was a fairy godmother standing beside her. "Why are you crying, Cinderella?" the fairy godmother asked. "Because I want to go to the ball, but my stepmother insists me to stay at home. Besides, I don't have any beautiful dress," said Cinderella. Then the fairy turned Cinderella's ugly dress become the most beautiful dress and with beautiful slippers. The fairy also turned a pumpkin into a parking coach, and become sick. And the mice become sick white horses. Cinderella finally could go to the ball, but she had to come back before midnight before the spell ended.
At the ball, Cinderella amazed everybody there, including the prince. The prince asked her to dance. Cinderella had a wonderful time at the ball, but all of a sudden she heard the sound of a clock. The first stroke of midnight. Remembered what the fairy had said. Cinderella ran back to go home, but she lost one of her slippers in ballroom. The prince picked up her slipper and would search for the girl whose foot fit with the slipper. A few days later, the prince proclaimed that he would marry the girl whose fitted the slipper. Her stepsister tried on the slipper, but it was too small for them, no matter how hard they squeezed their toes into it. In the end, the king's soldier let Cinderella try on the slipper. She stuck out her foot and the page slipped the slipper on. It fitted perfectly. Finally, she was driven to the palace. Then the prince was overjoyed to see her again. They were married and lived happily ever after.
Thank you for attention. Yay. Habis dan 5 menit.